Have you ever thought you were safe in your own home, only to realize the real danger was standing on your porch, holding a stolen key? The pounding at my front door made my daughter flinch. Before I could grab the handle, the lock clicked and the door eased open from the outside. In the frame stood Karen, the HOA tyrant, twirling a key like she owned the deed. "This is my neighborhood, and you don't belong here," she snapped. My chest burned with anger, but I stayed calm. She marched inside, pointing around like a landlord. "Pack up, you're finished." Then, as if rehearsed, she yanked out her phone and barked, "Officer, come quick. Arrest this intruder." I froze. She was actually calling the cops, inside my own house. My little girl clutched my arm. "Dad, what's happening?" she whispered. I whispered back, "It's okay. She doesn't know the truth." Moments later, a patrol car pulled up. My stomach sank when the officer stepped out, serious and focused. Karen shoved the key at him. "See, proof he broke in. Caught him red-handed." But the officer said nothing. Then, boots echoed behind me. Karen's smug grin faltered as my wife stepped from the kitchen in full uniform, badge gleaming. Karen's voice cracked. "That badge is fake." But my wife stood tall, her calm voice cutting like steel. "Ma'am, I'm with the department. Unless you want charges for trespassing, step outside." The officer glanced at her badge, respect flashing in his eyes. Karen waved the key wildly. "This house is HOA property. He doesn't belong here." I stepped closer, steady voice hiding my shaking hands. "Funny thing about that key. It's mine. You copied it without permission." Her face drained but she doubled down, screaming, "Arrest them. They're liars." My wife calmly raised her radio. "Dispatch, I need backup. HOA board member inside a private home with a stolen key." The officer's jaw tightened. Karen's confidence wavered, but she pulled out a letter, slapping it against my chest. "Here, official notice. You have 72 hours to vacate." I scanned it. No stamp, no lawyer, just bold letters typed at the top. "This is fake," I said, holding it up for the officer. Karen sputtered, "It's real. I make the rules." My wife's voice sliced through the air. "Then explain this forgery downtown." Karen panicked, yelling, "You can't touch me. I have backup." She waved to the street. Two men in cheap uniforms walked up the driveway, badges mismatched, belts empty. Karen pointed at me triumphantly. "Arrest him." My daughter's grip tightened, but inside I almost smiled. These weren't cops, they were imposters. My wife ordered, "Badges out." The men froze. Karen barked, "Do your job." The tall one puffed his chest. "Sir, you're under arrest." I cut him off. "Do you even know the address you're standing on?" My wife's voice boomed. "Enough. Impersonating officers is a felony." The real officer's hand drifted to his weapon. "Is that true?" The fakes stammered, claiming they were private security. My wife shot back, "Security doesn't wear police uniforms. And they don't make arrests." Karen grabbed one's arm, hissing, "Do it now or you'll lose your job." The shorter man went pale, whispering to his partner. Then my wife's radio crackled. "Unit 7, backup en route, ETA 3 minutes." Karen's mask cracked. "No, they work for me." But it was too late. The officer's voice was sharp. "Ma'am, you crossed the line." Red and blue lights lit the street as neighbors poured from porches, filming everything. Backup officers arrived, and my wife briefed them, 2 suspects impersonating officers. One HOA member attempting unlawful eviction. Karen shouted, desperate, "He's squatting. She's covering for him." But the neighbors didn't back her. Instead, one shouted, "You towed my car for no reason." Another added, "You fined me for planting flowers." One by one, the crowd turned against her. The fake cops crumbled. One tried to flee, the other dropped his badge. Karen shrieked, "I'm the victim here." That's when my wife calmly revealed a small USB drive. "Everything's on here. Forged letters, threats, surveillance footage." "You're finished, Karen." The crowd gasped. Karen staggered. You spied on me." My wife's eyes stayed steady. "No, we protected ourselves. Every fake rule, every threat, it's all recorded." The neighbors erupted with laughter. "So much for the HOA queen." One man yelled. Karen spun wildly, screaming for respect. The real officer cut her off. "Ma'am, you're under arrest for trespassing, fraud, and conspiracy." Karen lunged at me, shrieking, but my wife twisted her wrist and the cuffs clicked shut. The neighborhood cheered as Karen was shoved into the squad car. "You can't do this. I own this neighborhood," she screamed, but I leaned close enough for her to hear. "Not anymore. For once, she had no comeback. Cameras caught her thrashing like a criminal as the fake cops confessed, "She paid us. We thought it was legal." Their words sealed her fate. Neighbors who once feared her now mocked her downfall. One man said, "Didn't know your wife was a cop." I smiled. "She doesn't wear the badge at home. But tonight, she needed to." As Karen's screams faded, my wife told the officer, "We have a full case file ready, emails, footage, statements." He nodded. "Then it ends here." The car door slammed, and the block fell quiet for the first time in months. My daughter tugged my arm. "Dad, is she gone for good?" I knelt, wiping a tear from her cheek. "Yes, sweetheart, she won't scare anyone again." But I knew this wasn't just about Karen. It was about standing up to anyone who thought they could bully families off their land. And I was ready to fight that fight. By morning, the street looked different. Neighbors waved, smiled, even shared coffee. Fear was gone, replaced by unity. One elderly veteran shook my hand. "Son, I fought for the right to live free. Watching you stand your ground meant something." His words stayed with me. Looking at my wife and daughter, I realized this wasn't just our victory. It belonged to every family who worked and sacrificed to protect their home. Karen's SUV spot sat empty, her reign over. Justice wasn't loud, it was solid proof in the law. And as the flag rippled on the corner, I knew one thing: freedom had finally returned to our street.